to actually play the right shot at times, because it may not be what you're most comfortable with yourself. And Hingis is prepared to do that. Something like 17 unforced errors from Steffi Graf and a mere 4 from Hingis. It's going to make a big difference in this match.
Well, another of those little lapses which she cannot afford.
Merci.
Courageous play again.
30-40.
Remember when she was 15-40 down in the third game of the match, she came back all right. After a double fault then too. Oh dear.
Mademoiselle Hingis. Manœuvre amateur, s'il vous plaît. Mademoiselle Hingis mène par 5-2.
And an interesting contrast there. Graf not really used to coming forward and having to play the ball moving towards the net, caught at her feet by the half volley, which is why I think she should have played more doubles in her career. Hingis does play doubles. She's a Grand Slam winner of the doubles last year. She's won this title last year and is in the final again, and she knows how to move in half volley and to volley.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think that what I was also noticing right then, and what I've noticed more and more with Hingis, is that you don't consider, if you compare these two players, that Hingis is nearly as fleet of foot as Steffi Graf, who is still phenomenally, at her coming up for 30 years old, as fast as anybody, the greatest athlete I think who's been around in the last decade. But she improvises, just that shot there. Hingis was right out of position. She sticks a racket out and just sort of slices it back.
So Heinz Gunthardt in the front of your picture there with the cap, who's been coaching Steffi for some years now, will be rather worried about the turn of events with the new balls serving for the first set. Hingis. Well, at least she's trying to do something different. This is sensible.
Yes, and that was the right choice of shot.
Premier service.
Oh. Classic Graf.
15-30.
Really wasn't a bad serve. It just was absolute pure connection.
the best rally of the match. Absolutely astonishing control of the ball when at full stretch. Hingis turning defence into piercing attack.
Beautiful shot.
Premier service.
She went again to the forehand. She wasn't going to be put off by that last return of the forehand side.
Well played.
Another sensational point, and Steffi Graf this time not panicking in the middle, being prepared to just bide her time and knowing that she can live with Hingis from the baseline. Neither of them got too many chances in that point to do anything sooner, so break point.
Second service. Mademoiselle Graf. Mademoiselle Hingis mène par 5 jeux à 3.
So wonderful tennis from the 5 times former champion. (3-5). Prepared to try the unexpected again. It nearly worked. Just long, that approach.
Very good.
Nastasi there
30-0.
in the dark glasses. Heinz Grimm, the former president of the European Association, there too. Little shriek of dismay from her.
Mademoiselle Graf. Mademoiselle Hingis mène par 5 jeux à 4.
So some of these punishing rallies, I think, beginning to take their toll already. Hingis trying that rather poor drop shot that cost her the initiative when she was serving for the set just now. It seemed to me that was the signal, that she wasn't quite sure now what to do.
I agree. I think that when that game before went to 30 all off with a couple of tremendously long rallies, Hingis took a long time to recover, and it almost looked as if she might be, I couldn't tell what was going on in her face, but either she might be feeling a little bit tired or else thinking, gee, what do I have to do? This isn't going quite the way I thought it was. Beautiful playing from Steffi. You see Steffi playing as well as she is today, and you just think, how on earth did she get from 2 all and 3 game points to being in the big hole of being 2-5 down?
Do you remember that when Hingis lost her final here a couple of years ago, unexpectedly, we all thought to Maioli, who had a absolutely fantastic day, she'd played the doubles final the night before and had a very long one and was tired from that. She's done the same again yesterday, but not such a long match.
Yes, I know, but they were 4-1 down in the final set, she and Anna Kournikova, to the 2 French players, Tozier and Fusset, and then they pulled it back together. And, I mean, she could be just a little tired, or it could be the nervous tension. You know, this is a big occasion for her. 5-4, serving again for the set. So suddenly there are a few errors off her racket.
Unforced errors. Hingis's have climbed to 10.
S'il vous plaît.
Suffering an emotional crisis here.
S'il vous plaît, pour le respect des joueuses,
very ill at
restez
ease.
silencieux pendant le premier et le deuxième service. Merci.
I mean, doing things that are very uncharacteristic for her.
Well, I think Mum liked that one.
Well, this is where you have to hand it to Hingis. She's just looking very uneasy, and then she makes herself play something different, be aggressive, and come into the net. That was not an easy shot to put away.
Now there's that same key shot, we think.
Slice return not quite deep enough from Steffi Graf that time. Oh.
My word, this match is being played to such fine margins. The miss there, enough to give Hingis her first set point. Oh, that was lucky. Can't do anything about those.
It's a weird game, isn't it, this one? Suddenly there had been the error, you know, at 30 all, when it was just such a crucial time not to make an error to give you set point down, and then you get lucky with the net cord. So it's going to be a bit like that, this match.
That's it, 21 strokes in the rally. And the deadly accuracy of this two-handed backhand for the second time in this game, bringing a key point. Set point for the second time.
Égalité.
Good playing from Steffi Graf there, but you have to consider that Hingis is looking quite tight at this moment. Oh.
It is quite phenomenal, her racket head control.
Avantage, Mademoiselle Hingis.
Sheer perfection brings set point number 3. Yes, it was rather short. Into the wind, of course, from that end. And how it's punished.
And, you know, she seems to be playing a little bit more carefully, trying not to make errors, and she's won most of the points.
Avantage, Mademoiselle Hingis.
Yes, having trouble today in these rather windy conditions. Here's another set point, it's the 4th.
Première manche, Mademoiselle Hingis. 6-4.
So one of the most competitive endings to a set that I've seen in a while. 43 minutes it's taken Hingis to impose her slight superiority, for that's all it's been. Playing the key points so very well.
Deuxième manche.
Second set, Graf.
You know, I'm sure that Steffi feels as if the momentum isn't going with her, but it looks to me as if she really looks at Hingis across the court from her, she might see that Hingis is not altogether happy. She may have won the first set.
There it is again. It's being played at exactly the right moments as well. And that's what they're playing for. The silverware in the presidential box. Of course, remember, this is the first real battle in these championships that Hingis has had.
She's been immensely focused in her other matches, really knowing what she was after. Steffi Graf just really giving her too many helping handouts at the moment.
23 unforced errors now she's hit. The wind isn't apparent, of course, as we look down the court, except sometimes the hair is affected, blows out from the blows, but the flags certainly are showing us that it's windy. Carried with the wind again. So full of expectation, Heinz Gunther there, that Steffi is going to turn this match round her way.
Terrific backhand. It's easily hit cross court as she hits it down the line. First game of the second set, break point.
Steeling herself to unleash her power. Bit of a slap at that forehand. Not hitting through the ball quite in her normal way. Another break point.
Steffi must be so irritated with herself that she's coming up with these magnificent shots and then she's giving her too many errors. I guess that's the way she plays. Again, the tiniest of margins. The difference between winners and losers is a few millimeters. So Hingis breaks again at the start of the second set as she did the first. But I wonder what Joe Dury and Sue Barker think of the match so far.
Well, thanks, John. I really feel that that was a game that Steffi needed to hold on to. But Joe, you talked about that backhand of Hingis down the line. It really has opened up the court and won her a lot of points.
Well, yes, she's playing it at the right point. She's got Steffi on the run, and then there's that big gap down the line, and she's just so smart, isn't she, playing it exactly right.
Yes, because Steffi plays the majority of the rally standing inside the backhand court, so it does leave that, you know, wide open. Steffi has made a number of errors, but I still think that she's got to carry on with that, because she's got to try and force if she's going to have any impact against Hingis. So much as though she's going to have to put up with the errors, she's still got to go for it.
Yes, and then Virginia was saying Steffi must be so irritated with herself because a lot of these points are such high quality out here, and then she puts in a couple of unforced errors, and that's, you know, back to deuce, and so she's got to start again. But you can see Hingis is really out of sorts, and if Steffi Graf can just keep with her in this second set, who knows what will happen.
I think it just shows what a great champion, you know, Hingis is at that age, because she played the big points so well in that opening set.
Yes, she did. She just kept herself together. You could see, you know, she was boiling over a bit. She wants to win it easier than this, but she's just holding herself together.
I just have a feeling, though, that possibly this set might run away from Steffi if she doesn't really buckle down in this game, because you feel, you know, Hingis has got a break. Now she goes ahead, it could be all over.
Yes, very important right here.
OK, back to you, John.
Thanks, Sue and Joe. The serve of Hingis at 1-love in the second.
0-15.
One of the best match-playing minds I've ever seen.
And just when she does need to assert herself and find it a little easier, she's going for more. Exactly the time to maybe relax and experiment.
Lovely to see the way she moves naturally towards the net, instinctively. Millimeters again. Well, rather what Sue Barker was suggesting might happen, a rather quick service game, courtesy of a couple of more Steffi Graf errors. And when I tell you that she's now hit 26 unforced errors, she's given away the equivalent of 6 games.
And Hingis precisely half that, 13 a total. Well, I think there's going to be an overrule on that. That looked like a pretty perfect forehand. Well, her little sprint, her second little sprint of the day, forehand was there.
Yes, there's quite a lot of doubt about that one.
I don't want to make this call, do you?
I think they'll play a let. Oh, she doesn't like it. They're not going to play a let.
No, I don't think the umpire could find well, she shouldn't do this. This is just going to turn everybody. It may have been incorrect, the call.
Well, she may smile, but they're not going to enjoy it. That's going to lose her some friends.
Yeah, I mean, that ball is so clearly in as far as I'm concerned. But, you know, sometimes they don't work out the way you want them to. I certainly don't think it's worth incurring the wrath of the crowd.
Steffi, they're chanting now. But she was robbed, I think.
No question. I mean, the umpire obviously didn't know which mark it was. But, I mean, sometimes you're just not going to win these arguments.
And here comes the supervisor, Georgina Clark, striding onto court with Gilbert Isern, the tournament referee. Drama in the final. See if we can hear what they say.
Yeah, but the mark is there, so we're looking for a wrong mark. She can't tell where the mark is. Yeah, but there is the mark. She was looking at the wrong side.
It's her decision.
But it's much more on the left side.
Okay, I understand your problem. It's her decision. The first ball has to stand, and you cross the net, then you'll get hit, which you're not allowed to do.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry, but that's...
Well, this is dramatic.
Okay, the umpire's decision should have to be. Okay, then you get...
A point penalty will be awarded against Hingis for crossing the net line. And we'll see how she reacts. Let's listen for the announcement.
Code violation, unsportsmanlike conduct, point penalty, Miss Hingis, 30-0.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. 30 love.
Why on earth she would do that, I really don't know. I mean, now she's laughing, but I guess she will be able to shrug it off. I bet you anything you like she's going to go for a winner right now, just to get it out of the system.
Les joueurs sont prêtes, merci.
Well, she's still arguing with the umpire.
S'il vous plaît.
You take it Miss Hingis is displeased.
Un petit peu de silence, s'il vous plaît, merci.
Right, it's 30 love, whatever she thinks.
Steffi, do not serve a double fault here. She must have been disturbed.
I'll teach you. Ooh, the odd boo.
Oh yes, I know. I mean, they don't like that, and I don't think anybody liked to see her going up and storming onto the other side of the net.
Very clever change there. It looked for all the world as if she was going to unleash another powerful forehand, and too late, Hingis realizes it's going to be a drop. Foot fault.
Oh my goodness.
S'il vous plaît.
First one today. That's too good.
It's pretty hard to get away with the drop shot against Steffi because she's so quick. Steffi gets there easily, but she's in no position to handle the lob.
Now it's Steffi's turn to examine the mark. Well, well, well. There's a lot of pride out on the court there. No overrule. It's a second serve coming.
Deuxième service. Mademoiselle Graf. Hingis mène par 2-1.
Well, that was a very interesting series of events in that game, and the only question mark now is how will it affect Hingis, the fact that she's had a point penalty called against her. Next will be default, so she better be careful.
Never a dull moment, is it? I could not believe that Hingis went up, but she was so sure that she had hit the ball in, and she knew exactly where the mark was, and you can't blame her for that.
Weren't we?
Well, we were, and it was so strange when the umpire went down and she couldn't see the mark because she just had no idea where it was. So you do feel for Hingis to a certain degree, but as I was saying, you know, sometimes you're going to lose these arguments, and you just have to say, all right, I know I was right. I know I'm going to go and look at the replay on television later on, and I got gypped. But, you know, I think she came back and she got it out of her system. She seemed to be playing all right there. She still got the break ahead of Steffi in this set.
And forced into error there. Good forcing shot to her backhand.
It's just so remarkable, John, to be able to watch two players of different decades playing in a final. When Hingis said, I'm glad, I'm excited by playing Steffi, I'm sure she meant it, because it's a chance for her, you know, for once to compare oranges and oranges. 2-1.
15-0.
Just seems to me as though Steffi has lost a little bit of her confidence in winning the match. She seems to be
30-0.
catching up and just not thinking clearly as if she believes she's going to win.
Onto the baseline, that volley, my word. Well, now Steffi's turn to query it. But I don't think she... Yes, she is. She's getting Anne Lasserre out of the chair.
If Anne Lasserre changes this call,
Out.
now what is Hingis going to do? I think she might well shake her head. You see her foot, Steffi's left foot was in the way of the linesman, so the linesman didn't get a clear view.
Just about clipped the edge.
Good get.
Can't think of many women who would have reached that forehand, let alone hit that searing pass.
Why would Steffi go for that shot then at 30 all?
That calls the goggled.
S'il vous plaît. Merci.
Let court judge is so pleased to see those goggles in use to protect the eyes.
Mademoiselle Hingis. Mademoiselle Hingis mène par 3-1.
Well, you don't give her a target. Not unless she's running flat out to the corner somewhere. Had too much time.
Time at a very difficult second serve. Gave it the short return.
Such a good moment to strike down the line. Used it very judiciously.
Came off the line.
No complaint from Hingis.
Hingis was in perfect position, though. She anticipated totally correctly which way this volley was going. And Steffi didn't hit it all that well, but she got the benefit of a skidding ball. Makes a difference when she gets in a good serve. Her first serve percentage has been way down at a third in the set, which isn't nearly good enough.
Again, the element of surprise. To the forehand, she was late on it.
Mademoiselle Hingis mène par 3 jeux à 2.
And some form in that game to give the Graf camp a little bit of hope. At least she's thinking. The drop shots, she was even serving and volleying at one point. The first serve actually was a fault, so she had to go back and serve a second. But she's trying to do different things. She's even hitting over a backhand quite a lot.
I actually think that it's Steffi Graf who's hitting the ball a little bit better, but sometimes her concentration isn't just resolute enough, and that is exactly that statistic there that you see Steffi Graf hitting 30 errors and Hingis hitting 17. To me, that's just actually a little bit of concentration, because if you're really feeling totally focused, what happens is that you go for good shots, not for winners. Very often the good shots turn into winners. But I think once in a while Steffi hesitates just a fraction, and then she goes for her shots and tries to hit too big a shot.
Fortunately, the weather has remained absolutely beautiful now. The wind, though, is still troublesome. And that is what has been the main problem, I think, for Steffi today. She's hit a lot of balls just long from this near end where most of the problems have been. Still, with this break, serving now Hingis at 3-2.
She has to go for some different shots. She can't just get lulled into playing from the baseline. Steffi has not broken serve this set yet.
Yes, well left. There's the wind carrying that just wide. But from the far end, the drop shot is a percentage shot into the wind.
Premier service. Premier service.
The rapier thrust of this backhand does its damage again. Not enough on that approach.